At the beginning of the story, we meet a handsome boy named Kulin, who always has to hide his face. If a girl sees him, she falls madly in love with him. Kulin does not like this. He spends most of his time at home. He is the youngest son of the Moss family, a family blessed with good looks. Kulin explains that his older brother Okus is also very handsome and very famous on social media. He has millions of followers. It is undoubtedly because of his looks that thousands of girls are smitten with him, and Okus also helps people find dates. Okus's father, Parker, is also known as the Heartbreaker. He dated 200 women in his youth. Okus wanted to break his record, but when Parker met Jessica, everything changed. Jessica was also very beautiful, with a small mustache that made her even more attractive. Kulin stayed home and studied, but whenever he went out to buy groceries, girls would line up behind him because of his charm. They would go crazy, even making their noses bleed. Kulin's family had accepted that he was extremely handsome and that God had made him that way, but Kulin did not like this at all. Every girl wanted him because of his looks. However, Kulin wanted a life partner who would love him with all her heart, not just for his appearance. This is why Kulin almost stopped going out of the house. He was very bright in his studies, yet he did not want to go to school. Because of this, he had no friends. His mom, dad, and Okus were worried that loneliness might drive him insane. Some of his behaviors were also strange. He would talk to fish and play games by himself. Okus suggested that they should buy him a cat. His mother replied, "It is not that simple. We need to send him out so he can socialize and live a normal life." Parker asks, "What can we do to get him out? I have asked him several times to participate in national sports, but he always refuses." Okus says, "I even tried to set him up with my girlfriend's sister, but he ignores me." He then asks Kulin, "What kind of girl do you want?" Kulin replies, "She should be cute, kind, and understanding, and most importantly, she should not be interested in me." They are confused. How could they possibly arrange a date with a girl he does not even want? Sending Kulin out of the house did not seem possible anyway. Then Jessica comes up with an idea. She says, "We will stage a play. We will pretend we cannot afford his homeschooling and are facing financial difficulties." At night, when Kulin goes out to drink water, Okus tells his parents to act as planned. Mom and dad begin pretending that their financial situation is serious. Following their plan, they say, "We do not have enough money to pay for Kulin's homeschooling. His last semester is very expensive, so we will have to sell our things. From now on, we will have to survive on simple food like scrambled eggs and lentils for breakfast." Kulin begins to cry after hearing this. Okus is relieved that their plan has worked. The next day, Kulin comes to his parents in tears and says, "Please forgive me. You have suffered a lot because of me, but now you do not have to sell anything because of me. I will go to school for my final semester." Okus is overjoyed to hear this. However, Kulin explains that he will only go to an all-boys school where there are no girls, so he will not face any problems. Jessica and the entire family agree to this condition because at least now Kulin will step outside and make friends. The day arrives for Kulin to go to school. Okus takes him to school on his bike. Okus insists that he remove his helmet, but Kulin refuses because he plans to wear it all day so that no one can see his face and be affected by his charm. However, when he enters Harrison High School, his plan backfires. Because of the helmet, all the students stare at him. Kulin quietly sits on the last bench to avoid attention. When the teacher enters the class, she is surprised to see a boy wearing a helmet. She asks for his name. Kulin introduces himself, but the teacher cannot hear him clearly because of the helmet. She tells him to take it off. Kulin refuses. The teacher angrily says, "This is not a racing ground. This is a school. You cannot wear a helmet here." As Kulin slowly removes his helmet, a brief scene of an ambulance is shown. The teacher is stunned by his face and begins to smile uncontrollably. Soon after, she is rushed to the hospital. The principal becomes worried and asks, "How did this happen?" The students explain that the new boy is incredibly handsome, and the teachers cannot handle his charm. Kulin, who is hiding nearby, hears everything. He tries to escape, but a boy suddenly kicks him. His name is CD, the leader of the school's bully group. He often harasses new students. CD, along with his two friends, takes Kulin to the school storeroom. When Kulin regains consciousness, he is shocked to see them. There are 3 members in the bully group. They describe themselves as a superhero team. Their team name is Three Torques. CD is the leader, and the other members are Erno and Dicky. CD asks, "Do you know why we brought you here?" Kulin replies, "No." CD explains, "We need to send a message to a girl named Amanda. She is the most popular girl at BBM school. Every year there is a prom, and we send invitations, but they never allow us to attend. That is why we have not been able to graduate for 3 years." CD is determined to attend the prom at any cost. Now he wants Kulin to deliver their proposal to Amanda, believing that she only accepts proposals from handsome boys. Another boy named Kibo is also there. He is kind and gentle, but CD often bullies him as well. To complete this task, CD orders Kibo to help Kulin. He threatens him, saying, "If you fail to complete this task, I will make you suffer just like this helmet." With that, he damages Kulin's helmet. Kulin decides to complain about CD to the principal. Kibo tries to stop him, but Kulin does not listen. The two go to the principal's office. Kulin reports CD and explains everything. However, the principal takes CD's side and reveals that CD is his youngest son. He explains that CD CD has been failing for 3 years, all because of the prom party. The principal then threatens Kulin, saying, "You must complete this task for my son, or I will fail you this year." That evening, Kibo and Kulin sit outside the school. Kibo brings him a cold drink and says, "If we want to pass, we must complete CD's task." Kulin agrees. He realizes that Kibo is a kind person, and for the first time, he has found a true friend. This realization fills him with happiness. The next day, they arrive at Brain Beauty Manor, also known as BBM School. The girls sense that a boy has entered the campus. It is an all-girls school. Soon, all the girls gather outside. They assume Kulin is an ugly boy hiding behind a helmet. The girls say, "Ugly boys are not allowed in our school," and they begin forcing him to remove his helmet. Kulin slowly takes off his helmet. Instantly, the scene cuts to chaos everywhere. The girls are completely overwhelmed by his appearance, and a massive explosion is shown in the next scene to represent their reaction. Then the story shifts to a TV news report. The reporter explains that the girls lost control because of Kulin's charm. Their noses started bleeding, and no one had ever seen such a handsome man before. Some even lost their senses due to their obsession. From that moment, Kulin becomes known as too handsome to handle, meaning a man whose beauty no girl can handle. Now we see Amanda. She is sitting in a van during a shoot and watching this news. Amanda is the same girl who holds the title of the most beautiful girl at BBM school. She is also a model. Amanda smiles when she sees Kulin. She believes she has finally found someone who can match her beauty. She decides, "No matter what, I will have Kulin." As the news spreads, girls gather outside the Moss family's house. Everyone wants to see Kulin. A huge crowd forms outside. The family takes advantage of the situation. They set up a ticket counter outside the house and start charging money for access to Kulin's childhood memories and house tours. Jessica also begins giving guided tours, which brings in significant profit for the family. Meanwhile, Kulin tries to avoid everyone and makes his way home. On the way, he sees the news and realizes that his family is making money by using his name. Kulin is heartbroken. He starts to believe that his family deliberately sent him to school for this reason. Suddenly, some girls recognize him. Kulin runs away and escapes to the rooftop of a building. He feels broken, confused, and completely lost. He does not know what to do next. At that moment, he receives a video call from his brother, Okus, but when he notices that the crowd of girls is still gathered outside his house, he says, "Brother, you deceived me," and hangs up. Kulin then decides to end his life. He moves toward the edge of the roof and prepares to jump. Just then, a girl named Ray appears and stops him. She says, "If you want to die, then do it, but do not die in front of me." Kulin is surprised to see her, as his charm has no effect on Ray. She is not captivated by him like other girls. Kulin asks, "Do you not feel love just by looking at me?" Ray thinks he is crazy and walks away, but Kulin's heart begins to flutter. For the first time, he experiences true love. However, Ray has no feelings for him. Kulin then goes to Kibo's house, where Kibo's grandmother welcomes him warmly. She tells him he can stay as long as he wants. The next day, Kulin and Kibo go to BBM school. They meet Amanda and give her the proposal file that CD sent. Amanda pretends that she is not impressed by Kulin's beauty, but as Kulin walks away, her nose starts bleeding. Kulin spots his crush, Ray, but other girls surround her, preventing him from meeting her. One day, Kibo and Kulin sit together and talk. They have now become close friends. Kibo takes Kulin along to a shop because he likes a girl who works there. That girl turns out to be Ray. Kibo introduces Kulin to her, and Kulin realizes that Kibo also likes Ray. Kulin feels that Ray and Kibo are growing closer. They often sit together, share meals, and talk for hours. Seeing this makes Kulin increasingly jealous and restless. He remembers that his brother, Okus, is like a love expert and might help him. So Kulin sets up a meeting with him through a dating website. The next day, they meet at a restaurant. Okus is overjoyed with tears in his eyes. He had always wanted to guide his brother in love matters. Kulin's parents are also present. Kulin forgives them because if they had not sent him to school, he would have never met Ray. The next day, while shopping at a mall, Okus starts giving Kulin tips on how to impress girls. Kulin begins to think that if he can separate Kibo from Ray, he might have a chance with her. One day, Amanda visits their school. All the boys go crazy over her. She invites Kulin to her birthday party and even gifts him an iPhone. Later, Kibo, Ray, and Kulin arrive at a club. Kulin tries to connect with Ray, but she does not pay attention to him. Instead, she spends time with Kibo and enjoys singing with him. This makes Kulin jealous. When Kibo is not around, Kulin asks Ray if she likes him. Ray denies it, but when Kulin tells her that Kibo loves Amanda, Ray's expression changes. It becomes clear that she has deep feelings for Kibo. Kulin feels heartbroken. He then comes up with a plan. He goes home and calls Amanda, asking for her help. Amanda agrees to assist him. The next day, Amanda's party begins with many guests up estate. Kulin arrives with Kibo. Amanda welcomes them warmly. As per Kulin's plan, Amanda pretends to be in love with Kibo. She takes him aside privately. Ray also arrives at the party. She sees Amanda and Kibo kissing. Her heart shatters. She runs out and Kulin follows her. Ray says, I thought Kibo was different. He does not judge girls by their beauty, but all boys are the same. Kulin takes the opportunity and says, I am not like that, and then confesses his love to her. Ray replies, I never saw you as anything more than a friend, and walks away. Kulin is heartbroken. He betrayed his friend, yet he still did not find love. Meanwhile, Sidi is also at the party with his friends. He sees Amanda and Kibo kissing and becomes angry because he desires Amanda himself. He grabs Kibo in the parking lot and starts beating him. Kulin witnesses everything, but does not have the courage to step in. Later, Kulin takes Kibo home, where his grandmother treats his injuries. Kibo gives Kulin a card from his collection, something Kulin had wanted since childhood. At that moment, Kulin realizes that Kibo truly considers him his best friend. He feels deeply guilty and tells him the truth. Kibo becomes furious and says, if you had told me earlier that you liked Ray, I would never have stopped you from getting close to her. But it was my mistake to consider you my best friend. Do not ever show me your face again. He asks Kulin to leave the house. Kulin has now lost his friend. After a long time, Kulin returns home. His brother, mother, and father are happy to see him. However, Kulin does not talk to them and goes straight to his room. He continues going to school but cannot gather the courage to face Kibo. A distance grows between them. They see each other often but never speak. Kibo remains very angry. Kulin becomes quiet and withdrawn. His parents grow worried about his loneliness. One day, his mother comes into his room and says, your fish is still alive and we were never bankrupt. We were only pretending. Kulin asks in shock, why did you do this? His mother explains that every parent wants their child to be happy and to have good friends with whom they can share their feelings. Kulin begins to remember the moments he spent with Kibo. He realizes that Kibo was always there for him in both good and bad times. He becomes very emotional. His mother says, if you were already happy with the family, we would never have forced you to go out. Kulin hugs his family. The next day, Kulin goes to Ray to fix his mistake. He tells her the truth because Ray and Kibo have not spoken since that day. Kulin then goes to Kibo's house, but Kibo refuses to talk to him. Kulin says, why are you punishing Ray because of me? She loves you. Kibo replies, I love her too, but I can never tell her because I'm too scared. Kulin asks, how do you feel about her? Kibo begins to describe Ray, saying, she is the most unique girl in the world, and I love her very much. Her smile is special. Kulin then shows him his phone. Ray overhears everything through a video call. Because of this, Kibo and Ray confess their feelings and get back together. Kulin and Kibo also become friends again. A few days later, the school prom takes place. Kulin attends with Kibo. Kibo goes with Ray, and they dance together happily while sharing earphones. Kulin goes with Amanda. Because of their beauty, they are crowned prom king and prom queen. However, Kulin's heart still belongs to Ray, and he smiles as he looks at her. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.